You started playing CSGO? Well, that's the first mistake you could have made when downloading the game. But with some quick guidance, you will catch up to your friends' ranks, because in this video I will teach you everything you need to know to play CSGO like an experienced player. You can now defend your friends while cursing them for recommending this game and start listening very closely. Counter-Strike is a first-person shooter game. The most popular game mode is a competitive matchmaking, which I will be focusing on today. There are two teams, with 5 players on each team, terrorists and counter-terrorists. The terrorist team has an objective to attack a bomb site, try to plant a bomb and make it explode in 40 seconds. The counter-terrorist team is on the defensive. They are trying to protect the A or B sites, and if they fail and the terrorists plant the bomb, they have to defuse the bomb, which could take 10 or 5 seconds depending on if you have a diffuser with you or not. You can play 30 rounds as both teams until someone's team wins 16 rounds. It could take on average about 40 minutes to complete a long match game. Well, the company that made CSGO has made a short matchmaking system that takes about 20 minutes to play the game. Now let's learn how to actually play the game. If you had never played Counter-Strike, I would want to start with this game's unique weapons and recoil system. But before that, the most important thing we mustn't overlook is your settings. What is that sound? If your computer can handle CSGO, like there's a delay or some kinda lag, then there's a huge problem. You need to lower your settings because players are not very forgiving for having a bad computer. You should prioritize shadow settings over everything else if it's hard for your computer, because it's the one setting that can actually give a competitive advantage to you. I recommend having at least 100 frames per second to not have any drawbacks. To check how much FPS you have, go to Settings, enable Developers options, type netgraph1, log into Deathmatch and see your frames. Some players lower their resolution to get increased frame rates in the game. Another way to get better performance is in your CSGO launch options. By adding these commands, this will help with performance. When you have good performing computer, you can then focus on improving without worrying about the lag. When you have your frames fixed, let's look at the buy menu when you're playing matchmaking. When the game starts, you will have 15 seconds to decide which weapon you want to play before the game starts, and you will have extra 20 seconds of shop time before the timer runs out, so make sure to know what to buy ahead of time. The most important and popular weapons are AK-47, M4 or M4S and AWP. Our weapons are situational, and depending on the budget, they are all good weapons. To get money for weapons, you will be getting it for kills, wins and etc. I will make a quick rundown of these 3 important weapons so you would know how they work. First, AK-47, a terrorist weapon that has 30 bullets and can one-shot enemies to the head even if they have helmets on them. Second, M4 or M4S, a counter-terrorist weapon, similar weapons with different styles. M4S have 25 bullets with more accuracy, but M4 has 30 bullets that shoot faster. I use M4S for better accuracy when shooting from a distance. And lastly, AWP. It's on both sides, so every team can buy it. This gun is a long-range weapon that can one-shot enemies above the waist. It can make a sound when scoping, and if I need to state the obvious, it's bad for short-range combat if you miss the first shot. That is...
He knows they're coming, and he has Oman down. He's got the no-scope as well. Now he walked into the barrel of the gun, and he gets bayoneted.
Moving to the shop's armor. You should buy Kevlar every round if you're planning to buy a primary weapon. Buying a helmet is not very important on the city side if the enemy team has AK-47 and AWP weapons. On this side, buying a helmet is always important since M4 can't kill you with one bullet if you have helmet on yourself. Buying utility is important too. For example, using a smoke grenade, you can take cover from an enemy or throw a flashbang to make enemies unable to see. Having at least one diffuser kit for counter-terrorists on each site is important if you fail to protect the site, that way the teammates could take them when coming to the site. This will reduce the time it takes to defuse the bomb. With the diffuser, the time to defuse is half, from 10 seconds to 5 seconds. It may look small, but it's sometimes a game changer when there are still enemies around. Let's talk about movement in CSGO. If you want to reach point B location from point A fast, you have to take out your knife. With it, you will run faster. There's also a technique called bunny hopping, which is like a gamble for speed. You could have a 50% chance it will increase your speed a little bit, or 50% you will lose all the speed you had. Yeah, the odds are not in your favor. I like to be hop for fun when we win the game, but reaching the location is a big no. Let's talk about aiming with your crosshair. Mouse sensitivity is a good place to start. My favorite way to test if sensitivity is good enough is by finding a target or shooting at the wall to see a mark. By placing your mouse on it and moving around left to right and vice versa, if you overreact, you should lower your sensitivity. If you are behind and need to put more force in your mouse, you better increase your sensitivity to your liking and start getting used to it. Running and shooting is a big no, since your weapon accuracy drops significantly, and revealing your position is like giving an enemy the wall hack option without any consequences. Not that it matters. Anyway, you can actually counter strafe shoot by running to the side, stopping by pressing the opposite button and decreasing speed. If you want specific details on how to apply in the game, first try picking a corner as little as possible so you could see ahead. If enemy shoots with op, then peek so he couldn't run back to the corner. If not, try to locate him with second peek and do it again until you succeed in baiting out the shot or killing the enemy. Aiming is important, but more important is pre-aiming the enemy's locations. But where should you aim? The best option is shooting the head. Like in every game, it gives you the best damage, but the target is small and it's hard to hit, so maybe upper body? Well, you're right. When spraying your weapon, the best option is to deal as many bullets to the enemy to the upper body. The lower body reduces damage, and they might survive by killing you first. Let's see how to control recoils. Recoils in CSGO are not random. Every gun has its own unique recoil to each gun. Yes, even shotguns. The differences in AK and M4 are kinda obvious. You can shoot while standing and not moving your mouse to the wall to see your weapon's recoil. What you see on the wall, try to move your mouse to the opposite of the image. If a weapon is shooting up and moving to the right, try your mouse moving down and to the left to counter this recoil. There are workshop maps that shows and teaches you how to control your recoil. You can try it out on different weapons. Let's talk about movement in fighting situations. If you're fighting with someone or waiting for the enemy, try to take cover on your left side, since your left body could be more exposed to the enemy if you had taken the right cover. And also, when you're trying to pick corners, try to be as far away as possible if you're peeking slowly, because the closer to the corner you are, the quicker enemies see you when you see them. If you have to turn the corner when you are close to it, don't peek slowly, try to peek as fast as you can. Let's look at the radar, which gives free and quick information. Having good information is important, so make sure to see all the map all the time. It's useful if teammates forget to mention where the enemies are and how many. You can copy my radar settings if you like them. And that's it. I hope this video helps you to improve at CSGO, knowing these basics while playing it yourself and learning the ropes. You can leave a like or share this video for new players to see this video, and can also subscribe if you want to learn other games or go in details about CSGO. You can check out this playlist with CSGO grenade tricks, and I hope to see you in the next video.